Welcome to the GCN Tech Clinic, where we aim to answer your bike and tech related questions. As ever, you can submit your questions down below in the comments section using the hashtag askgcntech, and we'll do our best to answer as many of them as possible. Without further ado, Alex, who's this week's first question?
First question this week is from Tosin. They say, I have regular aluminium wheel on the front and a 45mm deep carbon fibre wheel in the back. Does having a shallower wheel in the front and a deeper wheel in the back help with stability and aerodynamics? Any suggestions? I feel like you've kind of answered your own question there. Having a shallow wheel in the front and a deep wheel in the back helps improve the stability of your bike and give you a little bit of aero benefit.
Yeah, to a greater extent. It's why you see time trial bikes have a disc wheel in the back and then a shallower wheel in the front. It improves their sort of handling in crosswind situations, as deeper wheels in the front can get buffeted. So yeah, if you want to run an aluminium wheel in the front that's shallower, by all means do it.
Yeah, go for it. Why the hell not? Next question in is from Ash3R. They say, hey guys, I've recently purchased my first road bike, a Cannondale CAD Optimo 105 from 2020. Plan to use it for commuting and weekend cycles. What are the first things I should upgrade on the bike to make it ready to use and make it easier in both senses? Very new to cycling. Any help would be appreciated.
I think, well, if, you know, like we were saying, tyres, tubes, that kind of thing. I'd also say that if you're going to be commuting on it, invest in things that are going to like help it last longer. Yeah. So, you know, look after it, like some good mud guards on there. That's gonna help it stay cleaner and prolong the life of it. And also just making sure that you've got good lubricant on there and you're looking after the drivetrain. That's gonna help too.
The first thing that springs to mind for me is that if you're super new to cycling, I wouldn't look at trying to upgrade or change any of the components straight away. Just get to grips with your new bike, enjoy it how it is first, and then once you've sort of got a bit of a feeling for it, and maybe some parts are worn out, that's when you can start to upgrade some bits.
Absolutely, and then one of the things that causes components to wear out quite a bit is sort of commuting. Yeah. Because you don't often get to clean your bike after every ride when you're commuting, so that's accelerated wear. And you know, if you're getting into cycling like Alex says, you might come to the spring, you might be ready for some new parts when they've worn a bit. Yeah.
Upgrade them. Simple. Them. Next question in is from R Fog. Take it away, Ollie.
This question is, would you have any thoughts on the lifespan of a wireless group set versus a mechanical one? I'm looking to buy my forever bike and found the model I like, a Giant Defy Advanced, but I can't decide between wireless SRAM ETAP Access or the mechanical Ultegra, and was wondering if I'd be better off going for the Ultegra, as it would be easier and cheaper to maintain and repair over a decade or more.
So in terms of looking at really like increased longevity and future-proofing your bike, I don't actually think there is a way to ever completely future-proof something. I think eventually all parts are going to wear out. Eventually all parts are going to become harder and harder to buy new, or you're going to have to start to find second-hand ones to replace them with. Although that said, just looking at it purely from a terms of electrical and mechanical sense, I think the electronic group set is probably the best way of future-proofing your bike. The moving components, there's less of them. Any of the components that do move are super sealed and buried deep inside the units, therefore they're protected from the elements, more than a mechanical part, which clearly has got more likely to be susceptible to wear.
Yeah. I have been, you know, not just the sort of SRAM stuff, but then the Di2 group sets, been very impressed over the years with like actually how durable they are. Like, I've beat on them. I've like ridden like Di2 group sets through winter.
Think what we did to all that Shimano Di2 group set.
When we tried to destroy it.
We buried it alive.
Check that video out.
Yeah.
Like, it is, they can take a lot of punishment. And they've improved as well over the years. So one of my friends, he bought the original 10-speed Ultegra, a Di2, on a Scott foil that he had from 2014. Last year, the rear mech conked out.
Oh no, probably can't get that anymore.
No, but he absolutely beat on it. Like, he used that as his he used it as his best bike for a while. Yeah. And will have done like, you know, probably 14,000 kilometers on that bike. every year for several years, and then it became like more of a winter bike for him. But it's done tens and tens of thousands of kilometers.
I think nearly 10 years out of something, you've had your money's worth from that.
Yeah, he absolutely smashed it. So, I think I wouldn't be worried about the longevity and durability of them.
I would go electronic shifting though if it was me. That's what I would do. Yeah. Okay. Right. Next question in is from Matthew. They say, "Hi again, team. Thanks for the carbon rim brake tubeless advice, Alex. It's working brilliantly." No stress. Chemistry question now for Dr. Bridgewood. Right. All ears to this, Ollie.
Yeah.
What makes the properties of 6061 and 7075 aluminium so different? They say the winter road bike is 6061 and is fairly compliant, with a little bit but not excessive flex, but their old cyclocross bike is made from 7075 and feels much more unforgiving despite having slightly wider tyres. Both use a carbon fibre fork, same kind of wheels and similar sized tubings. So give us some sort of doctory stats first.
So although we call those aluminium, that's kind of shorthand. They're both alloys of aluminium, which mean they contain a mixture of various different things. So there's loads of stuff in them. So both of them are a mixture of, well, primarily aluminium, but then you've got magnesium, zinc, chromium, silicon, and copper in there as well. So the different amount of those other things that are in the mixture determine the exact alloy that it is.
Yeah.
So, for example, like 7075 is like 90% aluminium, and it then has quite a bit of silicon in it. It also has more magnesium in there. It has quite a bit of, no, 7075 doesn't have silicon in it.
Okay.
But it does have quite a bit of zinc. So it's like 5.6%.
So is that like the differences between them is the amount of silicon and zinc, kind of?
Yeah, so what's the other one? 6061. That doesn't have zinc, but it does have silicon in it. Anyway, like the exact mixtures of those things and what's in them doesn't really matter. What you need to know is the end result, which is that 7075 is a harder alloy.
Yeah.
Whereas 6061 is like a softer, slightly softer.
So like
alloy.
more compliant,
and
maybe.
yeah, it creates more compliant frames.
So something that just sprung to mind in terms of, we're talking about the material properties, but we've got two different bikes, therefore they're going to have different geometry and the way that they've been built. Therefore, I think the geometry and the fact you've got a different bike is going to have a greater impact on how it rides compared to the fact they're just slightly different alloys. Yeah?
That will make a big difference, but then it's like carbon fibre. You get super high stiff carbon fibre, and you get like
different grades.
More compliant carbon fibre.
Okay, well, cleared that up. Anyway, next question in is from Mark S. They say, which saves more watts on flat terrain, 7 kilogram road bike or 9 kilogram aero road bike? That's like the easiest question to answer in the world. Clearly aero bike every time on flat roads.
On a flat road, the aero bikes should make more.
Yeah.
If you assume that the position
is comparable
of the rider is the same on both bikes,
the
aero bike would be faster.
Same position on different bikes, flat terrain, a 12 kilogram road bike in theory should still be just faster as long as it's aero.
As long as it's flat.
Yeah, easy, okay. Right, next question is from, I feel like I'm gonna murder this username.
Ryu Ginusa.
Oh, thanks, you've saved me from that.
Hi everyone, after how long should I change my tyres? I have about 4,000 kilometres on one set and there are visible cracks. Not huge or horrible looking, but I'm just wondering how long your average tyre lasts. I've seen things online that suggest anywhere between 1,500 and 5,000 kilometres.
Well,
how long's a piece of string?
Yeah, I was going to say, irrespective of how many kilometres or miles or the age of the tyre, you're only going to want to replace it when it's showing signs that it's time to replace it. That'll be that the tread's worn out, there's deep cracks and splits through the tyre, there's damage, major cuts. I don't think I personally would ever replace a tyre and go, oh, it's done 5,000 kilometres, time for a new one.
Unless the wear holes have disappeared.
Yeah, like you've gone through the tread enough, basically.
Yeah, so a lot of tyres have little hole, like pits in them, that are wear hole indicators. So when the tread is worn away, you can no longer see the hole. At which point you're then dangerously close to getting into the carcass.
Yeah.
I have run a tyre down to the carcass before.
Why? Why would you do that?
Because it just lasted and lasted and lasted and never got any cuts in it. And then one day I was like,
oh, there's the inside of my tyre. Yeah. Okay, right. Next question in is from PA Kelly 99. Well, they say mundane question, arguably. But as someone lucky enough to commute most days to work on a road bike, does Ollie actually rock latex tubes on a daily basis, or do you reserve the latex for the weekend? Chain gangs. On the assumption Ollie does ride latex tubes as part of his standard setup, are there any finessing touches to bring down the risk of punctures to a level comparable with regular common or butyl inner tubes? Do you use any sealant? The people want to know, apparently.
Right.
Anything special?
No, there's nothing extra special that I do. But I mean, if like I was running like a commuting bike,
yeah,
I wouldn't put latex tubes in it. I'd just use standard butyl ones. I'd put slow tyres on it that just had loads of puncture protection. You know what I mean? Like I'm not that bothered about having extreme levels of marginal gain performance
on your
on a commute.
Yeah.
So no, I'd save, but I would use latex tubes on the chain gang.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, fair enough. But there's no special magic treatment you do, just normal latex tubes.
Yeah.
Job done. Okay, right, last and final question for this week's Tech Link. It's from Michael Perrins. They say, being a Connor-shaped cyclist, presumably very tall, I find it very difficult to find decent kit that actually fits. Can we help? Well, the first thing I would say, local bike shops are going to be your best friend here. Somewhere that you can actually go to, look through a whole different range of different brands of clothing, different sizes, and then try it on. That way, you can see how the sizing varies between different brands and even just different garments. And that way, just pick and choose what works best for you. I think that's a big advantage compared to trying to shop online, when like you order something, it takes 2 days to arrive, you try it on, it doesn't fit, you return it, takes 2 days to return, then you haven't got your money back. It's just a slow process online.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Head to your local bike shop.
Right, that's unfortunately all we've got time for this week, but sorry if we've not got around to answering your question. As ever, be persistent, keep firing it down in the comment section below, and hopefully we'll get around to it in a future show.
Should we go?
Yeah, cheers everyone.
God, I'm starving.
Love you, bye.
See ya.